The Egyptian Empire, one of the most enduring and fascinating civilizations in human history, spans over 3 millennia, beginning around 3100 BCE and lasting until the conquest of Alexander the Great in 332 BCE. The story of ancient Egypt is deeply intertwined with the Nile River, which provided fertile land, a stable food supply, and a means of transportation and communication. Its banks gave rise to the world's first great nation-state, where art, religion, architecture, and governance flourished in unprecedented ways. The early history of Egypt begins with the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt by King Narmer, marking the beginning of the early dynastic period. This unification led to the establishment of Memphis as the capital and laid the foundation for centralized rule under a divine king, or pharaoh. The pharaoh was not only a political leader, but also considered a god on earth, responsible for maintaining mat order, balance, and harmony. The Old Kingdom is best known for the construction of the pyramids, especially the Great Pyramid of Giza, built during the reign of Pharaoh Khufu. This period saw the development of a powerful centralized administration, impressive advancements in architecture, and the creation of art forms that would define Egyptian culture for centuries. However, this era eventually declined due to internal strife, the weakening of central authority, and possibly drought-induced famine. Following a period of disunity and chaos, known as the First Intermediate Period, Egypt was reunited by Mentuhotep, the second of the 11th dynasty, ushering in the Middle Kingdom. The Middle Kingdom is regarded as a classical age of literature, art, and political stability. Pharaohs of this era extended Egypt's borders, improved irrigation systems, and fostered trade with neighboring regions. The capital was moved to Thebes, and a more decentralized approach to governance emerged, with greater power vested in local governors. Another period of fragmentation followed, known as the Second Intermediate Period, during which the Hyksos, a Semitic people from the Near East, seized control of the Nile Delta. They introduced new technologies, such as the horse-drawn chariot and advanced weaponry. Eventually, the native Egyptian rulers of Thebes mounted a successful campaign to expel the Hyksos, led by Ahmose I, the founder of the 18th dynasty. Ahmose I's victory marked the beginning of the New Kingdom, Egypt's most powerful and prosperous era. This period is often considered the height of the Egyptian Empire, characterized by territorial expansion, monumental building projects, and a flourishing of arts and religion. Pharaohs such as Hatshepsut, Thutmose III, Amenhotep III, Akhenaten, Tutankhamun, and Ramses II left indelible marks on Egyptian history. Hatshepsut, one of the few female pharaohs, expanded trade networks and commissioned magnificent temples, most notably her mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari. Thutmose III, a brilliant military strategist, extended Egypt's influence as far as Syria and Nubia. Amenhotep III presided over a golden age of prosperity and diplomacy, building lavish temples and fostering international alliances. One of the most controversial rulers was Akhenaten, who attempted to revolutionize Egyptian religion by promoting the worship of a single deity, Aten, the sun disk. His reign saw the establishment of a new capital, Akhetaten, and a radical shift in artistic style and religious practice. However, his monotheistic experiment was short-lived. His successor, the young Tutankhamun, restored traditional polytheism. Ramses II, also known as Ramses the Great, was perhaps the most celebrated pharaoh of the New Kingdom. He led numerous military campaigns, notably the Battle of Kadesh against the Hittites, which ended in one of the world's first recorded peace treaties. Ramses II embarked on ambitious construction projects, including the temples at Abu Simbel and the Ramesseum, leaving a legacy that endured long after his reign. Despite its strength, the New Kingdom eventually declined due to internal corruption, economic troubles, and external invasions by the Sea Peoples and Libyans. This led to the Third Intermediate Period, during which Egypt fragmented once again. Power was divided among rival dynasties, foreign rulers, and priesthoods, leading to instability and a diminished central government. The late period saw attempts at revival, most notably under the 26th dynasty, which promoted a renaissance of Old Kingdom traditions. However, Egypt became increasingly vulnerable to foreign powers. It was conquered by the Persian Empire in 525 BCE, briefly regained independence, and was finally conquered by Alexander the Great in 332 BCE. Alexander's arrival marked the beginning of the Hellenistic period, during which Egypt was ruled by the Ptolemaic dynasty, a line of Greek-speaking monarchs. Although they adopted many Egyptian customs and portrayed themselves as pharaohs, their rule marked a significant cultural shift. The most famous Ptolemaic ruler was Cleopatra VII, known for her political acumen, relationships with Julius Caesar, and Mark Antony, and tragic death that led to Egypt becoming a Roman province in 30 BCE. The legacy of the Egyptian Empire is profound. Its achievements in engineering, medicine, mathematics, astronomy, and art have influenced countless civilizations. The construction of the pyramids, the invention of hieroglyphics, the practice of mummification, and the building of massive temples all speak to a society of great intellect, spiritual depth, and organizational ability. Egyptian mythology, with gods like Ra, Osiris, Isis, and Anubis, remains a subject of fascination and inspiration even today. The Egyptian worldview, centered on the cyclical nature of life, death, and rebirth, is embodied in their architectural and religious monuments. Temples like Karnak and Luxor, and tombs in the Valley of the Kings, remain as testaments to a civilization that sought eternity in every aspect of its existence. In conclusion, the Egyptian Empire stands as one of the cornerstones of human civilization. From the first unification under Narmer to the fall of Cleopatra, Egypt's history is a story of resilience, innovation, and cultural brilliance. Though empires rise and fall, the legacy of ancient Egypt continues to captivate scholars, travelers, and dreamers across the world. Its monuments still stand tall in the desert, whispering stories of pharaohs, gods, and a timeless civilization that refused to be forgotten.